This week's videos are sponsored by Acorns, the money app that makes it simple and cheap to make small yet significant investments.
Citizens of the Reject Nation, it's a big one today. We are watching All-Star Superman. Are you excited, John?
Oh, I am very excited, Coy. I wanted to be here strapped up with my physical copy, but it's at home on my shelf, so I'm a little ashamed of myself, but I am very, very excited to see how this translates to the big screen. Yeah, I mean, you'll be able to speak on the translation.
I got this as floppies. I have these individual issues.
Oh.
I am an All-Star Superman fan from buying from the jump.
You're an All-Star Super fan.
Well, we haven't seen this yet. We have read the book. We're going to do a middle-level job of like trying not to be like, well, it's different, that's the same. But from the perspective of enjoying the book, very excited to dive in. So please join us as we watch All-Star Superman. If you want to watch it in its entirety, front to back, the whole shebang, like you're sitting with us on the couch, check out Patreon. Every single super sexy reject over Patreon is very appreciated because that's how we're keeping these lights on. Copyright strikes be damned. Patrons keep things a-going, so thank you very much for being our super friends. We appreciate it very much. Without further ado, let's watch one of the classics that inspired tonally a certain movie coming out July 11th. Let's watch All-Star Superman.
Will we start out driving on the streets?
I hope so.
Whoa.
Cool.
Doomed planet. Servo cells are out. We're dropping.
Damn.
Desperate scientists.
Definitely quietly art inspired. I see those chins.
Hey.
Approaching photosphere. Increase stabilizers. Last hope.
Wowie.
Pressure index 55 up.
Oh, you're losing tiles. Whoa.
Wow, that's pretty.
That's gorgeous. What an interesting way to do the origin. Whew.
Gravity shields are failing, Dr. Quintum.
Dr. Quintum.
Cool.
When we hit the convection zone, the temperature will reach 40 million degrees.
Jesus.
I'm not ready to die just yet.
The POV through the mirroring is so cool because when he moves, you can see it adjust.
Whoa. Dang. Oh.
You killed your brother!
Thank you for the exposition.
I did.
That should be impossible. I genetically engineered you myself.
Your code has been modified by a superior intellect. Now I'm a biological time bomb. Courtesy of Lex Luthor.
Christ.
How big is it?
Fun.
From where I'm standing, one can only hope.
Wow, proportional. Let's go.
We don't know that yet, Lois.
Recognize that mustache?
Hey, it's my man.
There's a Lombard.
Go away.
It's 333,000 times the size of the Earth.
What are we doing? You undercover?
I looked it up on my Superman signal watch.
Thanks, Jimmy.
You working undercover on a story?
No, why?
I love it. This is just how Jimmy dresses now.
Luthor's been investing heavily in water rights.
Kent's boring story.
Ed Asner?
Luthor planned to cash in on a global water shortage. A shortage he intended to create by somehow tampering with the sun. This is tomorrow's front page.
Ooh, get that alliteration.
I recognize Perry White's voice.
Sounds like Ed Asner.
Does a bit.
Lex, I just got a call from Media Relations. The Daily Planet's asking for a comment.
Superman saved the cast of Sunshine.
Are you talking to yourself again?
I'm remote controlling a weapon. The signal takes 9 minutes to reach the sun. I have to coordinate my transmissions perfectly.
Whoa.
You were released from jail to work for your country, not on your own.
Whoa.
I know I promised not to waste my intellect on elaborate super death traps. I know that.
And I don't care.
I looked in the mirror one morning and realized something. I'm getting older, and he isn't.
No. God,
Great
his voice
use
is
of
great.
sprinkling in the ego.
Fusion will occur in 30 seconds.
Not adherent, Walt.
Hey. Dang. Whew. Dang. Time to reignite the sun. Gray with the solar flare.
Yeah. This is gorgeous.
Yeah, you better catch that thing.
Do you remember the sun element of the story at all?
Not really.
Okay.
This will be pretty fresh for me.
All right, cool.
Superman. Somehow he's extending his own bioelectric field.
Whoa. I mean, he's got to have crazy sun juice right now. Whoa. It's like a colony. How many of these things have you rescued?
It seems impossible. You're lifting 200 quintillion tons. Even allowing for the 1/6 normal gravity here on my moon base, that's 3 times your record.
God, look at the drip.
But that's the heaviest apparatus known to man. The new superpower you exhibited when you saved me, and it's obvious your body is changing radically.
Radically?
I'm not sure how to tell you this.
Tell me straight.
Your trip to the sun overexposed your cells to solar radiation, more than even your body can metabolize.
I see it, like tiny fireworks beneath my skin.
Wowie.
Your cells are oversaturated with power.
Whoa.
They are bursting from within.
There's too much power.
I'm dying.
I'm sorry, Superman. If I hadn't tried to steal fire from the sun, none of this would have happened.
Don't apologize. You couldn't have known.
It was his plan all along. Luthor used me to kill you.
Damn. He is brilliant.
You're our inspiration, Superman. And I promise we'll find a way to save you.
I need a favor, Dr. Quintum.
Ooh.
Anything.
My condition. Don't tell anyone. Not yet. There are some things I have to do first.
You gotta set things right.
They did a good job subduing some of the more extreme art, but his outfit and stuff, like feeling like it's special and pop. This is cool. The art really works.
What?
Oh, sheeps. Whoa, Clark.
Where the hell have you been, Kent?
Working on my suntan?
It's too right you've been.
Freeze! Hands above your head.
Step out of the Oculus.
By all means, boys. Take me away.
Ominous.
Can you believe he was smiling when they nabbed him? Said something about friends in high places.
That does seem odd.
The Court of International Justice is talking about reinstating the electric chair, just for him.
Jesus.
Don't be morbid, Smallville.
Whoa!
I'm so sorry.
Idiot. Your boyfriend's an idiot.
Cook this fool, Superman.
And he's not my idiot.
Why, thanks, Lois. I don't know where my self-esteem would be without you. There was something I wanted to tell you.
If it's about the trial coverage, it can wait till tomorrow. I've got to fly.
I gotta fly.
Lois, I have something to tell you.
Oh, snap.
Moment.
Dang. With the classic.
I'm Clark Kent.
Sorry, Superman, but you've got to admit, that's very hard to believe.
I know.
That
By
was
design.
kind of the whole point.
Yeah.
That was my mission.
All the years I spent trying to prove you were Superman.
You almost had me a couple of times.
It's a very cute moment.
You gotta set some things right.
Didn't think it was secure enough.
But this doormat
But right here.
is made of solid lead.
That key can't be safe.
Why don't you give it a try?
As your key.
It weighs 500,000 tons.
That's funny.
It's important to have someplace private to relax.
Hey, the Titanic.
Remember we talked about the Titanic.
He's got the big coin too.
They got a thing with coins, these guys.
So is this a date? I mean, is all this for my birthday? Or are we about to get serious here?
Mm-hmm. God, this is gorgeous. Ooh.
These are for you. I picked them on Alpha Centauri 4.
Hey, Alpha Centauri. I got them at the Tiki Room.
I didn't know you collected modern art.
Actually, I do, but this is the armory. I've confiscated some incredibly destructive weapons over the years. There are things here that can even hurt me, like this kryptonite laser or this gravity gun.
Oh.
My fortress is only for the people closest to me. Come see my new time telescope.
What?
They're doing a good job with the chemistry and like the visual cues.
That's Cal Kent, the Superman of the 84th century.
What?
I'm still working out the bugs, but someday I'll be able to use it to stop threats before they happen.
Precog Superman.
What's in here?
Oh, Vapor Man. My. Genetic experiments. Oh. We've got a file on you. The little pins.
What the hell?
Lois, stay out of there.
I didn't mean to.
You can go anywhere in the fortress except for this room.
Ominous.
That's ominous, yeah.
It's not too early for dinner. Why don't we eat?
After this awkward exchange here at the Forbidden Room.
What are you wearing?
Whoa.
Traditional Kryptonian formal wear. I made it myself.
Oh.
You're a man of many talents.
A Renaissance man.
My trip to the sun, it not only tripled my strength, it tripled my curiosity, my imagination, my creativity.
Is that why you're suddenly telling me the truth about your secret identity?
Uh-oh.
No, that's not why.
But you are telling the truth.
Yes.
Okay. How do you explain the time Clark was a witness in the Boss Grimaldi trial and you were his bodyguard?
Was standing in for me.
And when Clark presented you with the key to the city, that was Batman too?
A robot.
Oh.
Clark Kent and Superman are one and the same.
Like he has to prove himself as both of them.
Yeah.
Doesn't that mean you've been lying to me for years?
Oof. Come back. I know Batman.
Time I see our whole freakish relationship in stark black and white. And I have to ask myself, why would he lie to me?
Oh, she's going to carry Bradshaw.
Yeah,
on.
I was like, this is real Sex in the City Fortress of Solitude edition.
All these new powers and his new super intellect. What if he's grown tired of his little game, fooling people who love him just to feel superior?
It's a very cynical way to look at secret identity.
What if he's brought me here for some awful experiment that he's planning in that secret room?
Oh, no. Hey, recycle that.
Save the planet, Lois Lane.
I need a weapon.
Dang. This is escalating quick. Dang.
It all makes sense now.
Oh.
He's brought me here to be the mother of a race of super children. Can't let that happen.
Fascinating.
They'll grow up and lie to everybody.
She's acting like her father's daughter in this sequence.
That's a good point. Sam Lane's here. Jeeps. There can't be that many of those.
He knows I'm here.
Keep out Superman at work. Whoa. Use the whole thing up?
Huh. Tickles.
Eh.
What have I done?
For one thing, you've confirmed my suspicion that I'm immune to kryptonite.
Damn.
I don't understand what's happening.
Robot 7 seems to have malfunctioned. I'll check him out later. While I was synthesizing some chemicals, they can cause visual distortion and paranoia.
Oh, golly.
A sewing machine for weaving indestructible thread. The paranoia should pass momentarily.
Jeez.
I'm sorry I kept leaving you alone, but I was making your birthday present. I guess the surprise is already spoiled. This serum is keyed to your genetic code. It'll give you powers just like mine for 24 hours.
Holy shit.
Without my vulnerability to kryptonite or red sunlight. Happy birthday, Lois.
Dang. Happy birthday, Super Lois. Oh, shit.
Down the hatch.
Going for it today.
I feel different.
Paranoia went away.
Is it working?
Oh, fun.
That was a cool use of the height thing, too.
Very fun.
Before I deliver the verdict of this court, do you have anything to say in your defense?
Superman made me do it.
No, not with this jury.
Get this farce over with, you pompous, senile toad.
Whew.
Driven by jealousy, greed, and delusions of grandeur. Alexander Joseph Luthor, court finds you guilty on all counts of crimes against humanity.
Instead of Lex, he should go by Aljo. Aljo
Strong.
Luthor. Whoa. Whoa. Lois suit.
It's really cool to see that suit in motion.
Super Lois. Oh, she got the big old gloves.
Does the costume I made for you fit?
Only a little better than my own skin.
Hey.
I never noticed you taking my measurement. Ah! What's that noise?
It's Jimmy's signal watch. Sorry, Lois. The last thing I wanted on your special day was a reptile invasion.
Of course, the reptiles from Earth's core. Which was the president who was like searching for them?
Nixon?
One of the U.S. presidents was like looking for the
lizard people.
Lizard people. Whoa. Whoa.
How about you eat this?
Let's go, Super Gaston.
Look who it is.
Those sideburns are special.
Superman! Yo-ho!
Yo-ho! Whoa, no! No!
We probably needed that, Samson.
Not the Starlink.
He won't be bothering Metropolis again for a while.
His lungs just burst. Excuse me.
I gotta give him CPR.
Always a joy to see you again.
This voice.
Why are you here, Samson? I thought you and your no-necked partner were busy time traveling.
Are there more issues before? Whoa.
It's out of continuity, so you can kind of just dive in.
Why are you here?
They think this is a singles bar.
Sorry, gentlemen. The lady's with me.
Earth on his shoulder.
I propose a challenge of the ages. We'll each perform a super feat in the lady's honor.
Wins her.
Oh, golly.
Wins me?
Single girls with brains, beauty, and superpowers are rare in any century, Lois.
Oh, well.
I defeated Krull in single combat, foiling his war on Metropolis.
And I subdued his entire army. There doesn't seem to be much left for you to do, Superman.
Oh, boy.
And respected you, Superman. My son will punish me for his crimes.
Hey.
Goaded me into his attack by man Samson.
Ah, damn it.
Please allow me to deal with it.
Please allow me to whoop his ass.
I love how odd a story it is, but they kind of just throw you into it. So you're like, all right.
Sure.
Come with me, and I'll show you wonders far beyond what you've seen.
Ooh.
A small token of my affection. The radioactive crown jewels of the Ultra Sphinx.
The Ultra Sphinx.
Careful, Lois. Plutonium-240 is lethal.
Uh-oh.
Not for the next 24 hours, it isn't. Look, guys, I'm flattered. But you'd have to go a long way to outdo Superman.
You would spurn my affections for a dalliance with this?
Careful.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I'll make the Titans kneel before you and give testimony to your loveliness. I'll crush diamonds in my mighty fist and make them into sparkling wine.
Champagne.
That's day one.
No. Whoa.
Maybe I'm teaching you a lesson for impersonating Clark Kent.
I'm not impersonating Clark Kent. I am Clark Kent.
Why don't you humor me? It's my birthday.
Yeah, everybody wants to be wanted.
I don't like you much, Samson. What do I have to do to make you keep your hands off of my girl?
Uh-oh.
I happen to know she won't be your girl for much longer.
Oh, no. Oh.
All's fair in love and war. Anyway, pretty soon you'll be too busy with your challenge to even think about dating.
Forget it, Samson.
Oh, no.
Lois and I are going to a party in Atlantis in less than an hour.
Let's go.
They have plans.
I love how...
What's this, Atlas? Part of my birthday surprise?
Since we borrowed that necklace from the Ultra Sphinx, he's been hounding us like one of the Furies.
Bro.
Legend has it that just before your death, you performed the most amazing feats of your career. Some scholars say that among them, you answered the unanswerable question.
Oh.
What are you talking about?
That is the unanswerable question.
The Ultra Sphinx is here.
Oh, Shazbot.
Return what was stolen.
Lois!
Dang. The thunderclaps.
She exists now in a condition of quantum uncertainty, both alive and dead.
Schrodinger's Lois.
The universe asks you an unanswerable question. To answer correctly is life. Failure to answer correctly is death.
Golly.
You stole that necklace.
We couldn't fight the Ultra Sphinx without help, so we let it chase us here.
Ah.
It meant no harm to Lois. I swear to living Zeus.
And I swear to, if she dies, you're both going to the Phantom Zone.
Let's go.
What happens when the irresistible force meets the immovable object?
It's on your paper.
Turn the paper around.
Grab the paper. Hey. Luxus Samaritan.
They surrender.
Response acceptable.
God damn it.
The scene of her with the necklace they pause on for a second is one of the covers. They're like giving each cover a beat, which is cool.
Cool, nice.
I was alive and dead at the same time. My God.
It's okay. I've got you. Come on. We're going dancing.
Hey!
What about our contest? Answering a riddle is hardly what I'd call a feat of strength.
Haven't you done enough?
How about I wrestle you for her? Or is the mighty man of steel a coward?
Even the shield on his chest is yellow.
Then we have a deal. If I win, you both leave the 21st century right now.
Get out of time and space.
I'll be leaving, all right. With the beauteous Lois Lane on my arm.
Not if I beat him first.
Were we doing this simultaneously? Damn.
I'm sorry. Have you two already started?
Oh, point proven. Fun. Fun.
Today was perfect. We did everything I ever wanted to do.
You know what I've always wanted to do?
Oh.
From the first day we met?
What?
You've got something in your teeth. I've just been. Oh, fly you to the moon.
Cute.
Oh. Ah! The foot pop. She got the foot pop. Oh. Right in front of the full earth.
My birthday gift's wearing off. I can't see radio waves anymore.
No.
I can't hear the stars singing.
No.
Thanks for letting me spend a day in your world.
You know, I do other things. I mean, besides being Superman.
You do a great Clark Kent imitation.
No.
Lois?
She's in super sleep.
It would be exhausting to resume normal life with all this power. Like your body just like
I've been hit by several trucks.
I've done so much.
No, Sleeping Beauty.
Wholesome.
I was aware of your lumbering presence, Kent. Just finishing work on my bibliobot. A roving library.
Cool.
It was the best of times.
Hey.
Watch your step, you clumsy ox!
Oh.
You write like a poet, but you move like a landslide.
I'm sure I had my dignity when I came in here.
That's some Final Destination shit waiting to happen over
Yep,
there.
there's just
I saw that Da Vinci of Crime headline. It seems like a compliment, but there's a sneer behind it.
Reporters don't write the headlines to their stories, Lex.
I like how he's in an oversized suit, even in animation.
Yeah, and he's like slouchier.
You coming, Kent?
What'll it take to get the full compliment in one of these headlines?
It sickens me.
Wow.
That insipid, boyish grin, the smug self-regard. Tell the truth. Doesn't his very
Training goals.
existence diminish?
Yeah, dude.
Our jobs don't really overlap.
All right, Nick Holt, there's the bar.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a better world, Kent? In a world without Superman, the unattainable Lois Lane might have noticed good old Clark pining away in the corner. A strapping farm boy with brains, integrity, no discernible style of his own. You were a prize catch for a cynical city girl.
Sure.
Why haven't you filed an appeal?
But with him around, you're a parody of a man. A dullard, a cripple.
Jeez, man. Rub it in.
Next to Superman, even Lex Luthor's greatness is overshadowed.
Oh, we're in third person territory.
I mean, villain monologue's got to be done right.
I'm trying to educate you. We all fall short of his sickening, inhuman perfection.
Sickening perfection.
You don't really act like a man facing the end of his life.
No, I don't.
Mm-hmm.
What would you do if you had his power?
Help people?
You probably would.
I'll kill you, Luthor!
Whoa. Oh, yeah, the parasite.
You don't scare me, Parasite. Brain beats brawn every time.
That's what Predator has taught us.
More than I ever had.
Jesus Christ. Jesus. Like Oogie Boogie.
It's a really cool POV.
Yeah, dang. You just desanguinate those dudes, or was that like their energy?
Parasites, yeah, that's it. Curtains.
Oh my God.
Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle.
Oh Christ, oh Christ.
Uh-oh, Gen Pop.
Yeah. Mustache Man's fixing for a brawl. Oh no.
A lot of eats.
It is the cafeteria after all. Oh, snap. Is he talking about that Superman power?
Their protocols are a little slow there, Prison. He's
this
so
is
gross.
freaky. Ooh, woo, 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 woo.
Get him!
Dang.
Good old prison riot.
What's the matter, Kent? Afraid he'll absorb your cowardice?
Damn, dude, outnumbered. Can of tomatoes.
That's tear gas, you idiot!
Not for Superman. Oh, no. Whoa. God, that mouth, boy. That is a really unsettling way to kill people. Whoa. That dude got a chance to clock him.
Yeah, he had a moment of actual...
If you want to survive this, stay with me.
Nice. Brains over bronze every time?
Yeah.
Well, I guess brains to do the
and
wires, yeah. That power.
I should have left you to those animals, Kent, but I need you alive.
My hostage.
I need you to tell my story. The story of a man who refused to bend his knee to the alien invader.
Look out, he's coming right at us.
Damn.
That won't stop him. He's absorbing the kinetic energy of the bullets.
Smart guy, Clark. This is so unsettling.
It's like a Miyazaki thing in this setting.
Yeah. Oh, does he make sure to trip on stuff as
Oh,
Clark?
100%. He adds the clumsy and works it to his benefit.
And earthquake. You know, I'm not used to seeing that dynamic in a lot of these movies, at least, is like,
Clark using his
Clark
powers,
having
but
to use the
that way.
powers.
You know what happens when you take on Lex Luthor?
Oh, you get glocked.
The same thing that's going to happen to Superman.
You know what happens to a toad when it gets struck by lightning?
I've always liked you, Kent.
What?
You're humble, modest, comically uncoordinated, human.
You're easy to look down on.
In short, you're everything he's not.
How can I make this guy like me?
Reject Nation, I don't know about you, but money used to intimidate me. It definitely still intimidates me. Growing up, I'm sure you guys are the same thing too. Gotta start investing early, it'll pay off in the future. But no one actually taught me how. And by the time I realized I needed to start, I already felt like I was behind. And that's why I'm really grateful for today's sponsor, this company. I've already been using them since before we ever partnered with them. Acorns! Acorns is a financial wellness app that makes it easy to start saving and investing for your future. You don't need to be rich. Definitely don't. Acorns lets you get started with the money you have right now, even if all you've got is spare change. You don't need to be an expert. Acorns recommends a diverse portfolio that'll help you weather all the ups and downs of the market. And yes, to this day, I still use them. Watch that mighty oak grow. And that's what I love about it. It automates everything. Sometimes I forget that I'm still invested in Acorns. And what I love is how it automates everything. Sometimes I actually forget that I still have the Acorns thing going, and it's always nice to check up on it and be like, mighty oaks are growing. I don't have to think about it. Just link a card, and it starts putting my spare change to work. One of our team members here even used Acorns to help them get out of a financial emergency. And when I heard that, that really hit home. So you can sign up now and join the over 14 million customers who have already saved and invested over $25 billion with Acorns. So you can head to acorns.com/rejects or download the app to get started. Because we're dealing with finances, it's important that I say, paid no client endorsement. Compensation provides incentive to positively promote Acorns. Tier 1 compensation provided. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisor LLC and SEC registered investment advisor. View important disclosures at acorns.com/rejects. Thank you, Acorns, for sponsoring this video and for helping the bank account look a little bit better.
I'm going to give you a present.
This serum will make you as smart as me for 24 hours.
How will you use it?
Did you know that Moby Dick can be recited at a frequency so high that it becomes a sonic drill capable of carving through solid rock?
What?
Call me Ishmael.
Ah!
Stop.
Oh my god. That's awesome. That's awesome. The bed just
Mad genius.
stacked up on books.
You can escape anytime you want.
I don't want. I'm going to the chair fulfilled, knowing that I killed Superman.
So break the news gently. A tasteful 140-point head.
Wow, dog. In fact, I've got the layout right here. I've got the images chosen. No need to call it
I've
Jimmy.
written it. Just put your name on it.
Yeah.
This is as far as I go. My lovely niece, Nasthalthia,
We'll take you the rest of the way.
Nasthalthia.
You and Superman could have been friends, and instead you're going to die.
Ah, but he'll die first.
We'll always have Smallville. Fascinating.
It's interesting what they're subduing and what they're like elevating to make it palatable.
Do you know what this is?
It's the bottle city of Kandor. One of your
Non
enemies
la
stole it
patria
from
fili
Krypton
esperto santi a
before
me.
it exploded.
Brainiac. He used his technology to miniaturize the greatest.
We just
city
saw
in
that.
the
Dudes, Superman Unbound.
You found a way.
No, but I have found a suitable planet for them to colonize.
You found a way in Superman Unbound.
The thing is, it's very far away. Even under normal circumstances, it would take me 3 weeks to fly there and back.
I don't understand.
I'm dying, Lois.
Oh.
You won't die. You'll find a way out of this. We'll be together. Our children will go flying in Metropolis Park.
Oh.
We can't have children. Our biology is too different.
My juice would rip you apart.
What do you always say? There's always a way.
The work doesn't stop just
The
because
bottled
I'm
city of
dying.
Kandor
Take
is
your
like.
people to their new home. When you get back, I'll be right here waiting.
So that's like a canon event.
Kandor's a big deal.
So even though that was resolved in Superman Unbound,
It's not
it's a
traditionally.
thing that
Yeah.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, Kandor's like a big element.
And so what Brainiac? So it's always that Brainiac struck down the city.
Yeah.
And this appears in many different
Exactly.
tales. Okay, cool. That's cool. I like that.
What happened to Metropolis?
What the? Whoa. Whoa.
Great Caesar's ghost! Kent!
The-
Where have you been for the last 2 months? I went to your funeral.
What?
I was accidentally buried underneath Stryker's Island during the prison riot. Lucky for me, there was a fully stocked bomb shelter down there. Well, to make a long story short, Superman heard me calling for help.
After.
Superman's alive? I knew it.
Oh.
Has he seen this?
Uh-oh. Oh, no. There's total gibberish on the back of that.
total back. I think that's an Easter egg because in the comic books, there is often that total gibberish. So I'm wondering.
Refreshing.
And beautiful.
A fitting spot for the capital of New Krypton.
Oh.
Barrel and Lilo, I just read all about you. Astronauts from Krypton who were lost in space for decades. It's an honor to meet you. I'm from Krypton too.
We know who you are, Superman.
We read the exposition as well.
But my Kryptonian name is Kal-El. I'm the son of Jor-El. We're probably related.
Mm-hmm.
Jor-El, a weak man, an ineffectual dreamer.
The son
Wowie.
follows the father.
The apple does not fall
You could have
far.
built a new Krypton in this squalor.
I don't have any right to impose my will over...
Hey, come back here. Oh, they could probably still hear you if you just keep talking.
Arrogant Kryptonians.
You just moved into my fortress?
Shouldn't have left the key lying around.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, that. So the robots aren't that strong.
Even Krypton's criminally insane, forever trapped in the Phantom Zone, evidence more nobility than the best of the human apes.
You should be ashamed.
You guys are condescending.
I was thinking maybe you could replace me after I'm gone, but you don't have the best interest of this planet's people at heart.
You've gone native.
It's disgusting.
Whoa! Woo-hoo-hoo. Damn, dude. Dang. Oh my god. Whoa! Made a Death Star out of the moon.
Such a cool formatting of villainy and escalation.
Yeah. Wow. Whenever sci-fi movies like crack the moon like that, I always find it especially kind of eerie and disturbing.
Yeah, what an impact to a common image.
I didn't realize Kryptonian fashion was so popular.
Kryptonian everything. It's a new world, Mr. Kent.
I want him to go back to the dress and the pearls.
So, this is where Superman hides.
You choose to disguise your greatness.
Have you no dignity?
My man's a Zelda fan.
I'm not Superman.
Call Superman with your signal watch.
Where are you going?
Nosebleed.
I gotta get to the school nurse.
This degrading impersonation will cease. Reveal your Kryptonian colors or...
I feel so...
Oh.
No!
Oh, Lex gonna come in handy for this, isn't he? Oh. Thump.
Your naked hands away from her.
Put some gloves on, man.
I can't fly. Why do I feel so weak?
You said you retraced the path my ship took to get to Earth. That means you passed through Krypton's debris field. The minerals in your bodies have been slowly turning to kryptonite.
Whoa.
I don't need help. Not from you.
I can't see.
Dang. So many turns and twists.
I can to make her comfortable.
You can feel the cliffhanger issue moments.
I can't neutralize the kryptonite in your bodies.
After everything we've done, you still show us kindness.
We were real dicks back there.
Really tried to ruin everything you love.
There's a way to save us both. Surely you've thought of it.
Yes,
Uh-oh.
but it has to be your choice. I'll try to find a way to cure you.
But your own time is short. Do what you must.
Do what you must. Oh.
Send us to the Phantom Zone.
Are you like frozen in form there?
Yeah, basically, like time doesn't pass, so they'll be in stasis, kind of.
Walk off into the not sunset.
Forgiveness.
It is a human virtue. Mixing the perfect cocktail.
I'm dying. The world is yours. All the things you said you would have done to benefit humanity if I hadn't been in your way, now's the time to prove it. Lex, I know there's good.
Yeah.
It's great, yeah. Jesus. Some slimy spit.
Hydrate, man. Something wrong.
What a shot. Oh.
You showed me everything I needed to know so I could go on without you.
The shorter cape really works in animation.
I just hope I've shown them the same.
Oh, Krypton flower. Lex lemonade. Wow. Well, okay, what's the plan here?
Get away from me, Padre. You stink of the irrational.
Like the most elitist man to ever. Whoa. Wowie. Nope. You just unleashed him.
You knuckle-dragging morons. My last request? That cocktail was a 24-hour superpower serum.
Oh, Christ. How did you trick him into giving you that? Oh, no. Right off the smile.
My turn.
But you're betraying yourself, man.
Superman's journal, final entry. My cells are breaking down at an alarming rate. I'm running out of time.
Superman's journal is epic.
I've traveled across space and time, seen and done things beyond imagination.
Mm.
Parents who loved me. Good friends like Pete, Lana, and Jimmy.
Oh, Pete, Lana, and Jimmy.
I loved a good
True.
woman. And she loved me back.
And Clark.
I'm
I'm
tired. But I still
tired.
have one more job to do.
Get a pump in. Oh, fun. Are these costumes Easter eggs?
I didn't clock in any that are
That was uncalled for.
Couldn't resist. I've got his superpowers for 24 hours. I've set the scum on strikers free. They'll keep the police busy with their rioting.
It's a 4. Wow! Wow! Oh, no. No, 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 no. This is way too much for one man.
Remote control for my terror weapons.
If you have all his powers, why bother with all this?
You wouldn't ask if you'd ever seen him in a fight. That's why I've made arrangements for a little extra insurance.
Oh, Geico. All right. Subway.
Eat fresh.
Superman loses his powers under red sunlight, right?
Ugh.
Friends in high places.
I had the grips put a gel over the sun.
Do you fear
The whole planet.
The tyrant's son.
Oh, I signed it.
Oh.
Luthor's secret ally has finally revealed himself. My last adventure is about to begin. This is
Whoa.
signing out.
Dude, Captain Kirk, no.
Solaris is a living solar computer. He poisons healthy stars, making them emit blue light that he can metabolize.
Crazy.
Receivers to 430 terahertz, and you'll be able to hear him.
Full crazy sci-fi.
Nice.
Impossible. I made your sun red. You should have no powers.
Oh, Superman's thinking ahead, though.
Your covering protects you from red sunlight. But
Yeah.
you cannot long survive this heat.
It looks like an evil eye, but also like a cell.
It's a cool image, isn't it?
Your sun is dying, but I kill you first.
Gotta send a crew to reignite the sun.
Whatever Luthor offered you, he'll betray
Oh.
I betray Luthor first.
Cool design.
I will eat your sun and replace it in the sky.
Ooh.
Will pray to me.
That looks awesome.
Dark.
Oh. Poke it.
Save yourselves.
Solaris overrode Robot 7's program. Robot 7 stole super serum for Luthor.
Damn, dude.
Robot 7 must atone.
You're a real one, Robot 7. Whoa. Oh. Oh, dang. It's a good use of the computer effect there. Ew.
What is this?
The natural enemy of a rogue sun.
A parasite?
Meet my pet sun eater.
Oh, of course, duh. Oh, that's fun. That is fun. Hell yeah.
Give up, Solaris.
Oh.
There's no need.
What?
You killed him.
That's now you done it. Poke it in the eyeball. Whoa! Just rip his brain out?
Sometimes you gotta rip a brain out.
Took
of
his
a sentient robot adjacent
star sun thing. Whoa.
Get out of the car, Miss Lane. Everybody, now!
No. That was Robert the Tire.
Lois Lane, right? You two are so post-mortem.
Sick burn. Wowie. Wowie.
Mercy.
Oh, Uncle.
I don't think I have any left.
Ooh. Grim. Whoa. The super husk.
Give me one good reason I shouldn't vaporize you.
The front page story we're gonna write about you?
Go on.
Kent, you look like hell.
I've got tomorrow's big story.
No, no.
Just finished it.
Oh.
Clark!
Love the flickering of the screen.
He's not breathing. He doesn't have a heartbeat, Lois.
Oh. Ugh. Oh, he's in his colors.
He's the least of your worries.
You get the hell out of here, Luthor!
That's no way to talk to the future savior of the Earth. You sent to the electric chair.
The truth sent you to the chair!
I don't believe in the truth. You can't measure it or hold it in your hands. What is truth?
Lex, stop it!
I love that is so Lex.
You can stop trying to stall me.
Woof.
And you won't be needing that infuriating signal watch any longer.
Wag.
Look at these pictures from our Singapore desk. The sun is turning blue.
The what now?
Don't you get it? Solaris double-crossed you and poisoned the sun, you vain, stupid little man.
Stupid?
Not so stupid now.
Lois.
Anyone else feel like acting out against the most powerful man on Earth?
I do.
What are you trying to hide from me?
Gravity gun.
Yeah, buddy. Ah, fun with the weapons room. Hell yeah.
Gotta have something that can take out Superman.
Gotta have all my weaknesses compiled.
Clark?
I told you, Lois. Superman.
Hey. Hope nobody turned around.
Oh, there's no cameras at this.
Hope nobody was listening too hard to what we were talking about.
Did you ever think that it would end like this?
Actually, I had the whole thing figured to end pretty much exactly like this. I've been on to you since Robot 7 first malfunctioned.
Yes.
Not so genius now, are you?
I just increased your personal gravity 500 times. That's not why I used the gravity gun, though.
No, you don't get to, you don't get to pontificate about your genius plan.
If I die, you die first!
No, you. Oh.
I like how he's got such a psychology, like everything he says is like exactly to a T. Him. There's so few Lex Luthor lines, but they're all solid.
God.
That Matrix fight hits heavy.
Yeah. Right on the track, too. You'll shoot your eye out.
More powerful than a locomotive on a good day, though.
Yeah. Nah. Oh, jeeps. All aboard.
Villainous collar pop.
Yeah, there we go. Look. Shit.
Welcome to the new world.
Oh. The Lou World Order.
I'll be moving into the White House later today. I'll make my formal declaration then.
I love the skywalking.
It's a cruel joke. The mechanistic clockwork of reality hinging on a precious, impossible defiance of entropy, on life.
Woof.
It's like it's all just us in here together.
You are embarrassing me beyond therapy.
Wow.
You'll have to forgive him, Nasthalthia. He just figured out how everything works.
Yeah.
Gravity warps time. Superman trapped me in a relativistic conundrum.
Oh.
His 24 hours of superpowers just
Oh.
ran out.
But it's only been a couple of hours.
Relative to us.
Yeah, the gravity.
You think I didn't make more?
Uh-oh. I made one more.
I saw everything. I saw how to save the world. If it wasn't for you, I could have saved the world.
If it had mattered to you, Luthor,
You would have already done it.
you could have saved the world years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, now that's a besting. Whoa.
Your poor face.
No one can repair the sun but me, Lois. I'm turning into pure energy.
Dang, dude.
And I only have one chance to save the world.
That's all you've ever needed.
I love you, Lois Lane. Until the end of time.
Which I'm about to stop. Oh, the cape.
I loved that last frame with the Oh.
Oh. Love the extra planets passing by. Oh
yeah,
no.
the POV of the relativity, the distance of planets.
Ooh. Ooh. Blues for the yellow sun. By Jove, he did it. There goes the best damn Superman this planet's ever seen.
In the 31st century he has that eagle too, but I don't know when he ever gets the eagle.
Are you sure you don't want to speak at the memorial service? Thousands of people are there paying their respects.
He's not dead. He's up there fixing the sun. And when he's done, he'll be back.
Elvis is not dead. He just went home.
And I'll be here waiting for him.
Oh, Eagly.
Doomed planet, desperate scientists, last hope, kindly couple.
Hey, we're back at the beginning.
We all know this story, Luthor. Why did you ask to see me? If this is an escape attempt...
I'd already be free.
Hey.
You killed him.
And my deathbed claims that I've seen the error of my ways can't change that. But there is one thing that I can do to honor his memory.
Oh, go on.
A-A-C-C-A-T-T-A. Is that?
Akita.
Of Superman's genetic code.
It's a sequel to Gattaca.
I reverse engineered it from his 24-hour super serum. I also finally figured out how to replicate it. Of course, it will require an ovum from a healthy human woman.
Oh, Lois. Let's go. I'm gonna make a little super baby.
Safely.
Little in vitro Jonathan Kent.
Now we understand how that grandkid exists.
They always said they wanted children.
Hey.
He's not dead.
Aww.
He's up there fixing the sun.
Oh.
And when he's done, he'll be back.
Oh, classic. What is this? Oh, this is reminiscent of, isn't there like a famous sculpture, of like a guy pulling a massive lever or something? It's like...
I think there is, but Christina Hendricks. That's why her voice sounded familiar.
Boy,
if you are
howdy.
just joining us, we just experienced All-Star Superman in animation for the very first time. I would like to thank the fine folks at Prepper for making this possible, for getting this on the YouTubes. We very much appreciate them.
Yeah.
As I said at the top, head over to Patreon if you want to watch it synced. But also, check out RejectNationShop.com for some sweet, sweet threads you too can have wardrobe changes like Superman. We got some Patreon questions.
We do, in fact, Coy
Start with those and then review this masterpiece.
Alrighty, so starting off with Dafmer, thank you for stoking the fires of conversation for All-Star Superman. Hello, John and Coy. Glad to see you both enjoying more DC content. I was wondering, for both of you, what makes Superman a compelling character? What aspects of him would you like to see more on the big screen? Things like him being a journalist, farmer, or father are aspects of him I've enjoyed seeing in shows like Smallville or Superman and Lois. And in this movie, we get to see him use more of his intellect, which I enjoy because Superman is a highly intelligent character, which doesn't get highlighted much. I think that's a solid point. In fact, what was, I guess, partly revelatory for me, because especially watching this now, I'm like, I didn't reread going into this, partly because I was like, I'll reread after and before the James Gunn movie, just to so I can go into this as fresh as possible. And a lot of my memory is just like clear on gone. So like one of the loveliest things about this is that like partway in I started to realize like, oh, this is just a bunch of scenes with characters for the most part, and then we have like a couple of very physical threats, but they're more like interludes. It's not really like a Superman story that's like heavily predicated on like there's a big physical fight we need to go take care of that's ongoing throughout the whole movie. It's more about the stakes of he doesn't have much time, and there are a bunch of sort of competing factors at play, in the jeopardy of, Earth at the moment. And so, I really liked this story's emphasis on Superman, both as Kal and Clark, as a character, as a person, and like the fact that he knows he's dying changes the demeanor in the way he interacts with Lois, with Lex, with everybody. I mean,
to briefly touch on one of my favorite parts about this story is that it feels like an old golden age serial. Like it feels very before comics were what they are today, format wise. But as far as Superman, I have said it before, but I think it's very pertinent to this question. I think I like Superman more and more every year I grew up. Like when I was a kid, I liked the edgy characters. To be fair, when I started liking comics, I liked Superman. I mean, I liked Spider-Man. I liked X-Men. I liked Batman. Those were my big three. And like Batman was just always cool. X-Men were always different. Spider-Man was always funny. Like the fundamentals of those things when you're like 3, those were really foundational. Superman, I had phases of liking because of like what he represented, but it wasn't until I was in my 20s that I went from, oh, I like Superman as like, I appreciate him, but I don't identify with him. And then like in my late 20s, I started liking him and identifying with him. And now every year I find the goodness isn't old fashioned. So as much as I like him having an intellect, as much as I like him having any number of those, things that add up to who Clark Kent and Superman is, for me, it's just the anchor of it's not old fashioned to be good for the sake of good. It's not boring to seek the best. And I think that is something that as the world gets darker, the brightness of Superman is more important. So as I get more frustrated with the world and more plugged into the world and more cynical, it keeps me tethered into the optimism I try to keep, because I'm an optimist and that's harder and harder. And so Superman is that to me. So it's not about anything he does. It's about who he is.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I feel like what I find compelling about a Superman story, I think that's a really cool point, and I think I would agree, because it's like when you're a young person and you're coming of age and stuff, you get enamored by the cool, flashy things. And I always find part of what is most charming and most affecting about Superman stories that I've been exposed to is I feel like, I don't know, the more we watch these, the more I sort of feel as though there's the difference between Marvel and DC of you're looking up versus looking down, but like Superman in so many ways kind of represents a sort of Parker Luckish thing to me, where it's like it's just a guy doing his best to be in as many places as he can, and he's trying to protect all the people who are important to him, and you can't do all of those things, so you have to choose wisely, and you have to choose goodness even when you have every excuse not to. And to see him in this movie in a sort of state of not resigned, but just like acceptance of mortality is interesting, because it gives him a different vibe than I'm used to. And I get that people often cite the sort of like, oh, Boy Scout character is kind of boring, but I feel like when Superman's stories for me are really firing, it's like, no, like, I don't know. It's a very relatable motivation to want to look out for people and do the right thing and to rise to the occasion, again, in a world that is providing you with every excuse to not reach for those heights.
Sure.
And so, yeah, like I get the inspiration factor of like, damn, you know, as fanciful and science fiction as these stories can be, like, yeah, this is the everyday struggle of like life is hard enough and it's as enough coordination, and even without superpowers sometimes it just feels like you're hearing and seeing everything and you can't block it all out and you can't create clarity in order to just achieve either your own goals or, you know, help the people around you thrive, or at least, you know, not be subject to tyranny or harm or whatever it is. And yeah, like I can get down with a very physical Superman story that has a lot of action. But I really do love a take that, yeah, like allows the character, the person, and the dual nature of the guy to shine. And too, when you get to, yeah, kind of relish in the contrast between Clark and Superman. Yeah, I hope I didn't lose the plot of this question. But I mean, yeah, I like seeing the human aspect. I like any Superman story that doesn't seem like it's trying to rush past all the character elements to get to some punching.
Yeah, agreed.
You know? So yeah, like and two, one where especially when he's up against Lex and especially in this story, like, yeah, this wasn't. There was a lot of like fun and games in a way, and a lot of like random annoyance. You know, Samson and Atlas show up to just kind of like be a nuisance.
I like that it felt like issues. It felt so serialized. And they did. I was really worried about how they'd translate. I was really afraid that a narrative film would try to make that story a 3-act structure.
Yeah.
And that wouldn't work.
Yeah. And like too, I think the human characters around him help.
Yeah.
It's like whenever he's with Ma and Pa Kent, there's that wholesome quality, and there's also that sort of like whenever I often find that in those scenes you come in touch with the wholesome and also the burden of choosing better and living up to ideals and morals and standards and whatnot. And then when you're like with a Lois type of character, you're with more of the edge, you know, you're with somebody who is a little bit more cunning and who maybe, you know, not always doing everything by the book, but someone who still has that sort of good nature at heart. Like, yeah, I think a good Superman story is often elevated character-wise. Superman as a character is flavored by his core people, and also, by the ideals and by the intellect and whatnot. Next cue is from Joseph Brown for John and Coy. What are your favorite? This will be a Coy question. What are your favorite Grant Morrison comics, and which one do you hope most will be adapted into animation?
I think Grant Morrison's one of the all-time greats. I think he's an absolute genius. He's doing, and this is a big deal. Are you ready?
Hanging on the edge of my seat.
Marvel and DC haven't in 20 years. Grant Morrison is writing. Are you ready? Deadpool versus Batman.
Whoa!
It's gonna be insane.
That is the comic book.
I'm so excited
for the now.
I'm so excited. Grant Morrison. He wrote New X-Men, which is one of my favorite runs of all time. He wrote one of my favorite singular volumes of comics ever. If I was to give anyone 10 comic books to show the array of major comics, one of them would be Grant Morrison's Animal Man. Okay. Grant Morrison's Animal Man rocked me so much as a teen, and then I didn't touch it for like 10 years because I just like loved it, and I didn't want to. I read a lot of comics, so I don't need to reread the ones. But then I was in my 20s, like 28, and I was like, you know, it's time. And I reread Animal Man. I was like, it's better. Animal Man's so good, and it's a character that shouldn't work, and the way the meta-ness works is so genius. It's a comic that I can't wait to show my unborn children. Like I can't wait to be like, this is what comics can be. So that's a big one for me. I'm a big Grant Morrison fan in general, but All-Star Superman, I didn't used to like nearly as much as I like now. When it first came out, I didn't have a connection to Superman in the same way like I was talking about. So this has become one, but Animal Man, I've always loved Animal Man, his take. And his new X-Men is pretty special.
Did he do the New 52 Animal Man? That was one of the, when they did the New 52, for whatever reason, I remember specifically hearing people say that Animal Man was a particularly good title out of that.
I don't think he did the New 52. His one was when there was the thing called the British Invasion, when Alan Moore, Grant Morrison, a bunch of the Brits. His Animal Man was from like the late 70s, and it was so good.
Okay.
It was like when Alan Moore was doing V, and that like Watchmen era.
Okay.
And that Animal Man like was a golden age hero that he modernized then that actually is even more applicable now.
Fun.
Highly recommend it.
I didn't actually realize that I would have an answer for this, but actually, now that I in the back of my mind, I was like, hang on a minute.
I got one.
Hang on.
I got a
minute.
Grant Morrison.
I know a fave of mine, I think has the name thoroughly attached, and I have just looked it up to verify. And yes, in fact, if you've been watching these recent iterations of our DC animated, you've probably heard me mention Arkham Asylum.
Correct.
Serious House on Serious Earth. I promise to read more comics so I'm not as much of a broken record.
But that's a great comic.
I adore that book, though.
I haven't read it in years. I love that book one from memory.
Yeah, the way that story is told and unfolds, but also the artwork that goes along with it. It was one of those books I remember picking up from the library ages ago when Greg and I would go on like little pilgrimages to the library to like grab a new comic or whatever. And that's where I read a lot of stuff. And that book recontextualized to me what comic book artwork and storytelling could be. And it's one I often think about when everyone's like, whoa, what would you love to see adapted? I'm like, that one. And to come to find, like, one thing I would love to do if given the time and a more succinct version of having an attention span is to, like, you know, soak in authors, you know, like read a handful of ones by this guy or that guy or whoever.
Yeah.
And, you know, really sort of drink those in. But that would be mine for sure. Because, again, if you could transcribe that art style along with what that story is, I would be on cloud 10.
He came to one of my birthdays once, and I lost my mind. Grant Morrison showed up I had a crazy birthday that was like a ball. Like we had a gala ball, and Grant Morrison came, and I didn't know how to react, and I happened to be on a stripper pole spinning at the time, and so I just kept like dancing on the stripper pole while being like, how is Grant Morrison here? And then we had a really amazing long conversation about X-Men and the importance of like the voices for each. It was like the coolest birthday present.
Hell yeah.
It was so special.
That. I don't know how you could ever have another birthday. Well,
that's
you
it.
had,
I got
you had Jim Starlin at one birthday party, too.
Jim Starlin giving me a Thanos wishing me happy birthday in pencil. Drawing happy birthday from Thanos is
can't be that mad.
Pretty crazy. I've had some good birthdays with comic legends.
I'm also excited just on the heels of this to go look at my shelf now and go like, oh, that was Grant Morrison
He's
too.
a genius.
You know, like I'm sure I've read more than just that. Also, we got Comics Guy just responding to this comment. I figure I'll work you in here too. I always wanted to see an animated series based on WE3. Do we know what this is, Coy? I think
WE3.
I think the crew that animated Scavenger's Reign would match Quitely's style well. Also, his Animal Man run would be wild to see animated, but that would have to be a series since the movie wouldn't even scratch the surface.
I have never read this, but it looks awesome. It's Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely doing animal stuff for Vertigo.
Cool. So is it We3, I guess?
Yeah. You just showed me a new comic, good sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Comics Guy.
Animal. I mean, aptly named.
Living up to your name.
That is cool, Comics Guy.
Heck yeah. And then I believe our last one for today is from Sci-Fi Extremist. Seeing your name popping up a few times in these Q&As. Thank you so much for John and Coy. Knowing that Jimmy Guns has stated All-Star Superman is an influence on his Superman. Do you think there will be any specific moments in the movie where we will be the Leo meme pointing at the screen, other than the robots, of course? Or do you think that the influence on the movie is more in tone and character than actual scenes taken from the book?
I think it'll be more tone and character, but I do think he will also give us some little things. I, as of filming this, have not seen Superman, so this is a guess. I would assume he'd have the Sun Eater in there. I think we'll get James Gunn seems the type to add a crazy creature that's getting like, you know, thrown sun smelt. Like that felt so James Gunn.
Yeah.
So I think that I assume we'll get some of the imagery that are like the comic covers, and if not the story elements, but like reframed in a way. Like there are some moments in this that I was like, oh, that's the cover. I think he'll play around with that. I don't think we'll see like Lois in a suit, and like I don't think we'll get, you know, a dying Superman, but I do think the creatures and the actual Fortress of Solitude, I think we'll see some elements that Frank Quitely added, like the Titanic.
I was going to say, are we going to see a
we
Titanic?
Might see the Titanic.
I think is the big question.
That is the question. Do one more?
I'm just making sure we don't have any more.
Okay, great. I think that was 3. That was the third.
Yeah.
Our goal was 3.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about this movie real quick before we wrap out of here. I did not have high expectations. Not gonna lie to you. I was really worried about All-Star Superman because it is so, by its nature, not linear. It is so, like, the story connects, but it connects so tenuously, and then it has a resolution, but it's not a traditional 3-act structure. It's not a traditional graphic novel. It's not a traditional story. It is like those old comics where it's like this adventure, oh, we found a way to make it relate, but with an intent. Like, those did not have much glue together, but this was like a perfect middle ground between modern comics and like old 40s comics. And so I was really worried when you animate that, what's that feel like? And admittedly, I didn't want to reread this before the Superman movie because I will already be Leo Point, but I also don't want to be doing a thing where I'm thinking, oh, that's missing, or oh, I'm looking for that. And I think some of the rumors when there's talks of a movie, it sucks because then you go, oh, I wish that rumor was true, or I wish that rumor wasn't true. So I was afraid to reread the comic that I know is tonally based. But seeing this animated movie without having read the comic in so long was really cool because I did get to have some surprises. Like, I forgot about paranoid Lois Lane writing an article. And like then the fun little like how long has that been on that mind's eye was really cool and different. And there were a couple little like extra elements I had missed. So this was a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. Like, again, this seems like such a seminal Superman story, and anything. It's weird. These DC, I think, movies, we've commented a lot on being very conscientious in how they blend together in such a short amount of time a lot of different elements that, you know, make up. What am I trying to say? They're good at typically making a story feel well-rounded in not a ton of time in a format you know is drawing from a vast source material. And so, yeah, coming back into this after so long was fun because, like, I didn't really... My recollection was foggy enough that I was like, I'm not really sure what kind of story to expect. And part of me expected something that was, like, more classic in a way. So it was cool to be then thrown into this, like, oh, damn, Samson and Atlas are here, and now we're competing for Lois's affections, and now Lois has powers for a day, and now Lex is over here plotting, and he's got this niece chick around, and then we've got a big sun monster, and like, it's really cool because it, in a way, and we've watched a lot of these now, so like the shared intersection that these worlds often amount to is well ingrained, but something like this I thought actually had like a higher degree of that than I'm even used to seeing in some of these. I feel like a lot of these animated movies, you know, pick a few things to focus on and you kind of focus on that, whereas this did feel like one big story, but amalgamated, out of episodes rather than one act, a second act, and the third act. And so I really liked the sort of journey of this and the flavors of this. And yeah, the way it felt like following a guy on his last days as he both does what his duty instructs, you know, with the time he has left, but also as he tries to make good on just some life moments and things like that. So yeah, having him and Lois bonding on his terms and having it be that, he reveals his super identity here. And, you know, there's a bit of a debate about that, but, you know, ultimately it gives way to, you know, this really lovely day that they get to share together. And then you get this, you know, battle of wits between him and Lex and all the other competing factors. Like, yeah, it was fun because I felt like I was sort of whisked off on a ride. And after a certain amount of time, I was sort of like, I don't know exactly where this is going to go. And
who am I? Where am I?
Yeah, and it's adapted out of a book that I imagine had things trimmed and consolidated and you know, adjusted.
I got a lot of the juice though.
But yeah, it felt nicely rounded, and I liked the tone of this. Like, this had a unique, again, given that it is such a particular and well-recognized story, it did feel like it had its own kind of tone amid the array of Superman flavors that we've seen in our animated journey up till now.
I found myself in the tone you're speaking of, like in a sense of wonder, like which I don't always feel. Like, you know, it's fun to watch these and it's exciting and it's action packed and like the writing's good and zippy, like all the things you want out of a comic. But with this one, I had a sense of like awe and wonder, and that was really cool because that's the character. So I found myself like forgetting to react verbally because I was just like, whoa, like it was really cool to have that scope. And one of my favorite things from the comic is, man, this is like, there's no way to say this without just saying it. I enjoy mushrooms And I really enjoy.
There's so many ways to cook them, Coy.
Guys, you can do shiitake.
That's right.
You can have that umami flavor.
That's right.
You can put them. So I enjoy a nice, vegetable. And I found that so does Grant Morrison, and that shows in his epiphany of Lex Luthor.
Oh my God, that.
And so I, as someone who,
it's all connected.
As someone who has had that moment, and
We're
as
just
someone
all here together,
as someone who's seen those, you said even fractals, and I love the idea of like equating gravity to. Anyway, as someone who has had the moment of connectivity and universality that gave me benevolence, I credit those, by the way, for a lot of my optimism. I'm not kidding. So to have Lex Luthor in the comic have that
based.
It really was cool to see with a performance, because I've only read that. So you're directing it in your head, you're acting those dialogue out, but it's still reading. So it was really fun when I was reading that, in my youth and being like, hee hee. And then like when I had that moment for myself being like, oh, like the comic. And then to see it here like performed, I was like, this is nice. So that was cool. I can only hope Nicholas gets to have his moment in Superman 8.
That's a question, I guess, is do you think he will get powered up in the text of James Gunn's Superman movie?
Not powered. I think there'll be some mech. I think there'll be
Lex
some
mechs.
Lex mech. But I think we'll get there like down the journey. I wouldn't want that to happen so early.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is one of my favorites. I think of the animated.
Yeah, this is really striking, and it's one that I'm actually not that I don't want to go back and rewatch the other ones, but this is one where part of my brain goes like, I kind of want to put this on again and like re-observe it.
I want to watch the new movie and then read this comic and then watch it again. I want to go in the order that I'm not going to be waiting for beats, because I hadn't read this in so long. This got to be fresh. And I know James Gunn isn't going to adapt this directly, its tone. So then after the 2 adaptations, I want to read it again.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea. In fact, that sounds like a perfect way to do it. You see this version of it, then you go watch Superman, and then you return to the source.
Yeah,
or a source.
Really,
and then go back and see how this direct adaptation works.
And then we'll do a live stream.
Yeah. Plus, just so many fun. What was Jimmy doing in the dress? Unrevealed.
It's for us to.
I was going to say, does the comic book make it clear?
That's actually a beat I didn't remember, which is funny because it's such
a whole issue about Jimmy
It's a striking
undercover.
image, but now I'm like, I like that my brain was like, I think that means I must have been like, Jimmy hijinks, because he like turns into a turtle and stuff. Like Jimmy's like a crazy character. Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen by Matt Fraction is one of the greatest modern comics, period, for like this kind of tone and insanity. And that felt like a beat where it was like you finished a Jimmy Olsen issue and then you're catching up on Superman already in progress. So they don't explain it because that's its own adventure. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So I really like the beat not knowing.
So
like
this, so this is a Jimmy Olsen centric comic book where like Superman is off to the side.
Dude, Matt Fraction wrote an insane 12-issue maxi series of Jimmy Olsen just like going nuts.
So excited.
It's insane.
I'm so excited. I will say too, I do appreciate, I think one thing people are getting at when they dog on Superman maybe is, in a roundabout way, like this has a sort of space opera kind of quality about it, even though it's mostly relegated to Earth. You still have like, these like larger than life characters passing by, and like some characters are here from different points in time, and it's like very sci-fi and timey-wimey. And I feel like that's in conversation, I just get this gist that that's an element of Superman that people probably overlook in favor of pointing to he's saving cats from trees.
He's an insane sci-fi character.
And that's a thing I think is really, as much as people look at James Gunn's upcoming Superman and go, is it going to be too much? I'm like, I'm actually kind of excited to see, in a day and age where so many things have been brought down to earth, and I like stuff about Man of Steel, certainly, but that's much more trying to be like grounded in earth physics and earth vibes and all that Dark Knight shit that we have to do now. And the Superman, as again, space opera, big sort of crazy sci-fi thing, I think is actually a vibe I'm excited to see embodied more on screen. And I have this hope in the back of my mind. I think we did like a massive overcorrection from Joel Schumacher days. And I feel like a little bit of that wildness and that sort of whimsy could be a benefit.
I feel, and honestly, I agree. I think we did Schumacher overcorrect to gritty, and I love dark and gritty. I like grounded heroes more. Like, I'm a street level hero guy, but not every character is made for that. So I think right now what DCU is doing is it's kind of like swinging the pendulum the other way, and I don't think they're going to swing as high as we went high of
We're not
gritty and
doing
dark.
nipples.
Yeah.
We're not doing
like
super
we're not going
nips.
there. But if the highest, darkest, grittiest is like up here, I don't think we're going to go as high in the absurdist, but I think going in that direction of sci-fi grandiose is needed to keep things fresh.
And finally, I guess, just to cap us off, Abienstein Arts asks, as a little coda here, what power makes this Superman special to y'all? Mine personally is that he's not affected by kryptonite because in the comics, he's overly exposed to the sun rays.
Yeah, which they do here in a fun way. I think... I always really liked, and I liked it again, and how they did it here. Like the 3 times power also meant 3 times empathy, 3 times intelligence. I like that it isn't just a power set that gets upped, because Superman's ability to process data is also heightened because he's Superman, but then that's also heightened because he's overpowered. So I liked the processing of like what that would be for all things.
Yeah. That's a great answer. I don't think I could answer better. I think the only thing I'll throw in is I just loved the acknowledgement here of the brief interrogation of like, wait a minute, but how are you Superman when you were helping out Clark in court or whatever? I was like, Batman. Well, how are you Superman here? I had a robot. So like, I don't know, I think that's an element that it's an element of fun. It's weird. Like, I feel like those elements of fun can be often overlooked in Superman stuff. And I'm like, it just reminded me of something else to appreciate about the joy of beholding the more whimsical aspects of a character like this. And two, just, his conscientiousness. It's not really like in his characterization, but the way like, he's showing Lois his like confiscated room of weapons and, thinks to bring the gravity gun because the gravity is going to accelerate the time thing. Like, his intellect really stood out here.
Yeah.
And 2, I really liked his super thoughtfulness in making her like, I love that reversal of like, oh my God, his secret torture lab. And then it turns out I'm just making you a nice
paranoid
gift.
Gases caused the super suit. Yeah, I loved all that.
Yeah. And so like, I'm used to seeing the tender side through Clark. So it was cool to see the tender side through Superman.
Yeah. And Chekhov's gravity gun. That was all the fun. Really enjoyed All-Star Superman. Please let us know in the comments below what you think. I loved the question of what we think we might see incorporated into the Superman film. I threw mine in there. I'd love to read yours below. So what do you think we might see? This is not going to be adapted, but totally, and certain elements that might get the Leo point. I'd love to see your Leo point ideas in the comments below. As always, we're going to be doing more of these. So let us know in the comments what other things you want us to watch in the DC animated pantheon. Love reading them, love acting on them. Also press like. Also thank Prepper for keeping us possible on the YouTube. And thanks to all of our patrons. We'll see you guys very soon for more. Bye all.
Superman!